did think as I watched the game at points that we had a chance to win. And I guess my disappointment was I didn't think it would be a game where we robbed ourselves of a chance to win with just countless self-destructive crap, which we did.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where my disappointment was. No, I didn't expect to win down there. But I expected it to be more about Alabama being better than us rather than what I saw, which was us being real bad to us.
The thing I believe about Alabama coming into that game is the thing I still believe about them, which is this. They're going to take a team like Tennessee that has propensity to self-destruct, and they're going to let them self-destruct. They're going to take a team like Georgia that has a propensity to self-destruct and let them self-destruct. Yeah. Alabama feeds off your mistakes. They don't look flashy or great in anything they do. They have a team that has struggles running the ball. They have a team that struggles stopping the run. For some reason, Bino, we just decided we weren't going to run the ball on them, and we didn't use the kid from Carnes, who was the hot hand. Look, I don't mind rotating backs. It's great. I would have thought that they would have taken this team and they would have found the hot hand. The hot hand was him the other night. He was, if they would have given him the ball, they were going to have a big night running the ball. And I see why it really angered people. You know, I see why we had so many angry calls. But here's the thing about Josh Heupel football. It's just mistake prone. It just is what it is. It didn't surprise me. I mean, this team, that's what they do. That's what, and particularly this group, this team here. I mean, we talked about it last week ad nauseum. This is a group that when they're at home, playing in front of their home crowd, is committing false start penalties, countless false start penalties. I mean, when they're playing air, which is to say Arkansas's defense. It didn't surprise me the other night. That's why I didn't pick them. I can't with a straight face pick you to win a game like that when we basically have a team that can't get out of its own way in key times on either side of the ball. But yet we have a nice team, so we do enough, Bino, to kind of hang around. And to your point, we did enough in the third quarter, came out and showed some guts. Got them off the field, went down the field and scored, got a turnover. But what happened, Bino, after we get that turnover at midfield? What happened there?
I believe that was the sequence with we moved the ball down, Tony, and I believe that was the sequence with the snap.
That's
when
right.
Joey's walking up toward the line of scrimmage.
Exactly
I think.
Right. They got off the field.
I don't ever rewatch a game, Tony, so it all runs together.
Well, they got off the field, and then because of their own volition, not because Alabama stopped them, they just got off the field. They stopped themselves, and then they punt the ball to the 1 yard line, and Alabama goes down the field and scores. Because Alabama drove the length of field basically twice on us.
Yeah.
And look, the first play, here's the difference in the game. This is why I didn't trust us. You got this Ty Simpson guy who our fans just don't want to give credit to, I guess because he's from here, or we recruited and, his father, they didn't want to come to play here. And now he's got a brother that's a sophomore, and we're going to have to deal with that because I think he's probably going to end up at Alabama. But at least the way McElroy was talking on television here, right? You talk about a reason to turn down the freaking TV.
To use the mute button.
Yeah, to hit the mute button. But I was proud of the way our kids played the other night. I mean, they played pretty much to the level of what we've seen from this team so far, and they didn't quit in the game, and it just didn't shock me. Look, it was a winnable game, but Matt said it Thursday, and Matt doesn't say things for his health. Tennessee was going to have to play as well or actually better than they've played all year if they were going to win that game. And Matt was right. You pin them early in the game. You've got a 3rd and 13. And this Simpson guy just kind of keeps his feet moving in the end zone. And he pops out to the right, and there's nothing out there. And he comes back to the left. And we're not getting any pressure on him. And he's just sort of sitting back there, and he kind of steps up, and he finds a guy in the middle of the field. And Orange wrote today, and he's right. That first series just sort of set the tone. Our 3 and out and them doing that just kind of set the tone for what was to come. It was a night where it was like Charlie Brown in the football. When you're about to just get back into the game, I'll pull the football away from you. That's how it felt to me. But we'll take calls. 865-200-5402. So what I want to know is, what do you know about the Vols coming out of that game? What are our lessons learned? And then on the Tony Vitello thing, look, we're going to sit here and wait and see what happens. I reported today at tclub.team that Donde Plowman got involved in it over the weekend. Went over the AD's head, her AD's head, because she realizes the importance of keeping this guy here, and let's work something out. You stay, and we're all going to, let you do you. I believe that. I reported that today. Go read it at tclub.team. And that's what I'm going to say about it. 865-200. And by the way, what I wrote, you're not going to read anywhere else. You're just not. But the Giants have come a-calling on him at a perfect time. Now, there's reporting out there today that he's not the Giants' first choice. The Giants' first choice is Nick Hundley, who turned a job down, apparently, according to reporting, because he didn't think it was the right opportunity. He's got a young family, etc. So Tony Vitello is, and I just call it like it is, he's kind of a nut job, but he's our nut job. And Bino, do you have any thoughts on what I wrote today in terms of Tony before we take a timeout and then get some calls in?
Not so much on what was wrote, Tony, about the possible reasons, but I do have, like everyone, I hope Tony remains here. I think he's the best. I think he's the best coach in any sport of my lifetime at the University of Tennessee. The best program builder of anyone in my lifetime at the University of Tennessee. I'm extremely hopeful that he stays, because I believe he's a guy that raises the level of everything around him. And I think he's raised the level of other sports here in his time here based on what he's done. That being said, I think he would be making a huge mistake if he leaves, because I think the two things that Tony does better than anyone else is roster construction and eliciting trust and performance and respect out of his roster. If he goes to the major league level, he's got no control over the roster management, zero. And I do not believe that he will elicit the same type of response out of Major League Baseball players that he does out of college kids, because those guys are different and they respect their own little clique. And Tony's never been a part of that clique. I think he would lose his two basic strengths. And the other thing is, if Danny White is indeed a big part of this, I don't care what major league organization he goes to, he's got to deal with 5 Danny Whites, not one.
It's pretty well put. So we take a brief timeout, continue with more on the other side after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
It's 865-200-5402. Fanrun radioing with you to William Pattison. Coming up here in about 90. We'll go to the phones at 865-200-5402. By the way, no Josh Heupel's press conference today simply because I love him. I'm for him. I'm not against him, but he doesn't say anything. So, and people, our numbers seem to say that people like us taking phone calls. Bino, you're not offended by that, are you? I mean, if he
not in the least, Tony.
I mean, if he said things, he got some, hey, I'd be all about it. He doesn't say anything. So we'll just continue to take calls.
You know, I grew up at Y12, Tony. I'll take a break whenever you want me to take a break, but I'm not offended by that.
Interesting. 865-200-5402. If you want to get in the hunting in the mix with us and go to the phones. I want your thoughts on what we saw over the weekend. And look, we live in a world where this is how crazy the world is. Sunbelt Billy didn't even get through the month of October. Florida State's 0-4. Miami was a 2-touchdown favorite in their building with Louisville on Friday night. I got back from playing the winery at Seven Springs, which is a beautiful, beautiful little gem up in the Plainview area, and just a beautiful place in the holler up there. So kudos to them. And hey, listen, come home at night and you talk about a stinkeroo. Miami might be locked out of their championship game now, which would mean the ACC, if Miami continues to win, or even if Miami goes 10-2, Miami's going to get in with a 10-2 record. They win over Notre Dame. And they beat that Central Florida team that's going to the playoffs. Weird year in college football. weird year. How about Vanderbilt? Before we go to the phones, Bino, we wake up in a world, Beanstar, where Vanderbilt are they a legitimate playoff contender, Bino, or are they a cute football story right now? What are they?
No, I think they're a legitimate contender, Tony. I think they're a good football team.
Could they win here?
Yes, they could win here.
They smashed that LSU bunch.
As long as Pavia is physically able at that point of the year. Yes, they could absolutely win.
Like if the game was tomorrow, it would scare the hell out of me, the level he's playing.
Yeah.
He was magical the other day, like doing magical things against a pretty good defense. Let's go to the phones, and we'll get our next call, and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys, it's Z-Man. How are y'all?
Welcome in.
Hey, Z.
I haven't called much this year. I just been busy or I couldn't get in.
Yeah, man.
But I think what really is irritating to me, Tony, about Josh Heupel, and I would like to throw out a clarion call for Matt to do the numbers on our offensive production minus 2022, because I think that's the exception, not the rule, and our defensive numbers minus 2024, because I believe that's the exception as well and not the rule that we've seen here, and actually see where we are. But I think what really bothers me about Josh Heupel is we know he's going to have a mistake, or he's not going to have a mistake-free football team. I don't think there is many mistake-free football teams out there, but we tend to make mistakes at crucial times that really just put us in a bad spot. I think what really bothers me, and I would like to get your all's take on this, is I don't see Heupel do anything to try to steal possessions or points. It's like we go to Alabama or we go on the road to certain places, and it's just like we're just going to line up and we're just going to play football because we believe we have so much, either we believe our athletes are as superior, if not more superior. But, guys, we don't run any trick plays on offense, none anymore. I mean, at all. I don't think he's ever ran an onside kick, a fake punt. Like, I don't see us going to any of these places on the road in the SEC where you need to, or you get yourself down, your team makes some bad mistakes, and you want to try to take some momentum back and those things. I don't see him do that. And that is what I think people get more frustrated at than anything, is because it's like his coaching now is like his press conferences. It's bland. It's vanilla. You're just not getting much out of it. And so that's just kind of what I feel. I don't know about you guys.
Bino, thoughts on that?
Z, I don't know that I've ever watched us when I was thinking, I wish we would try an onside kick here or there. That's not something about his approach that bothers me, but I respect your thoughts on it.
I just don't. Do you guys see that we're trying to even take away possessions or steal points with some of the decisions he's making? Like, I just don't see us taking a lot of risks anymore. Like, I think it was early in the first quarter, and we were 4th and 1, I think. Yeah. We punted it.
Yeah.
I just don't see the same Heupel. And if you're going to go on the road and you're going to expect to just go down there and line up and play football and think that you're going to beat them without stealing anything, like even Alabama tried a receiver pass. We just defended it well. Like, we don't even do anything creative on offense anymore. Like, the bunch formation is about as creative as we've been this year to try to beat, man-to-man coverage.
I don't know that you're being fair to them because, look, they came and modified their offense with tighter splits that they do. They're throwing the ball now in spaces they haven't. I do agree that Heupel's got this thing now where he's gotten really conservative, and that is kind of odd. But, and what I mean is, he's not as risky as he used to be. He doesn't take those risks. I just don't get Beanstar that play call on the goal line. I don't think that's setting your quarterback up to succeed there. And look, the guy made a horrible throw. He's been playing 6 years of football. He should never throw the ball there in that spot.
But he put himself behind the 8 ball, Tony, by not taking a timeout before that and giving himself more time on the clock.
Yeah,
and that's on Josh Heupel.
No, you're right. His clock management, Bino, this year has been extremely weird. I just think he's having a bad. I just think he's having a bad year with the headset. I said it Saturday night, and this is as far as I'm gonna go to criticize. I think we have years where kickers have bad years, quarterbacks have bad years. A power hitter in baseball will have a bad year. I think Heupel so far with the headset in games is having a bad year. It doesn't mean he's bad with the headset, but for some reason, Bino, he just seems. And sometimes when I play music, I feel like this. He just seems a tick off, Bino, just a tick off what he usually is.
No, I think it's a valid criticism that he has to improve drastically in clock management. I don't think he's ever been very good at that here.
Yep.
He hoards timeouts. I've said it before, like they're green stamps. I don't understand that.
Yep.
And as far as what happened down there on the goal line, I've despised that tight set, especially on 3rd or 4th down around the goal line, regardless of who the coach was here.
Yep.
And I still despise it today.
Because it makes no sense. And as Matt said, and I can't wait to talk to Watson about this, why in the football world these coaches insist on using play action down there on the goal line when nobody believes without a timeout that you're going to run the ball there.
I think we
that.
got ourselves in a bind down there, Tony, because of Aguilar's injury. And even though he played and he was doing okay, I think he was hurt enough that they didn't want to chance it, because I think the play that we've shown, whether it was at Mississippi State or against Georgia or whatever, when we get the ball inside about the 3-yard line, maybe the 2-yard line, we go in that tight bunch set, but then Joey keeps it on that little sweep, and he's got all his lead blockers. I think that was the play to run, and I think that's probably what they would have run.
Yeah.
But I think specifically he was hurt enough that they didn't want to put him in harm's way. The other thing I think the bad decision was is Brazel's not even on the field. Your best receiver's not even on the field. So if I'm Alabama and you come out in that, I don't even have to worry about. That's not even a threat you have to worry about. And so now you're only going to be able to throw at least maybe 2 plays out of that formation. And I think with Aguilar's injury, I think that really put them where they didn't have a lot of options there.
Yeah.
And I don't think he wanted to take the risk of running it.
Yeah.
But I mean, what would you? Obviously, everybody says, "Well, to come out and I would have." Not ran in that formation, I think I would have thrown a jump ball to Brazel. Absolutely. Is what I would have done.
Absolutely.
And then if you don't get that ball, then you kick the field goal.
Absolutely. Because if you take 3 points there, what's the score, guys? 6-point game. You're in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I appreciate the call. What my problem with Saturday night is that you got to give yourself a chance to win. It's what Alabama does. They just let the game come to them. I didn't like chasing the 2-point conversion, Bino, at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. I don't like that at all. I know why these guys do it. Kick the extra point and let the game come to you when it comes to scoring points in these games. Score points. 3's not a bad outcome. Now, I'm not saying you settle for 3, but if you're going to let that clock run all the way down, which they did, Bino, before taking that timeout, or let the clock run. Here's the other thing about Joey football. Man, he got hammered the other night. I'm starting to worry about his – what's the word I'm looking for here, Beanstar? The wear and tear that we see on these quarterbacks. Do you share my concern? Because Kentucky's going to hit him too. Kentucky was really physical with Texas on Saturday night. I watched that game in a split screen. That was a really physical football game.
Yeah, Joey competes to the nth, and in this league, there's a time to kind of give up on the play.
Yeah. What about going for two?
And especially a positive play.
To me,
there's time to take what you've got, and that's it, and don't take a hit.
To me, Bino, I'm on the road. A case of my philosophy, and most games, I'm not going for two till I have to go for two. That's me. Am I wrong?
No, I agree with you more times than not, Tony. But we're on the opposite side of analytics now.
Yep. But analytics,
I see a lot of things in football that make zero sense to me the way I grew up watching it and thinking about it.
And analytics, by the way, tells us as well that putting a ball in play in baseball is not of any value.
Yeah.
And that's Barbara Streisand on 10 continents. And let me tell you why. It's pure BS.
Toronto continues to show that it's bull.
That's exactly right. They put the ball in play, and Jerry's Mariners made 3 errors last night early in that game, which completely altered the game. Now, if you're up there striking out, guess what? You analytics squint-eyed nerds out there, you Ivy League nerds. Guess what happens if you strike out? You're not going to find this in your little formulas, in your little theorems you've come up with. You can't convince me because I know better. Put the ball in play. We've seen all kinds of shoddy defense so far in the postseason in baseball. It's been kind of a theme here. Gee, I wonder why. Could it be that nobody puts the ball in play anymore and forces these people to make decisions in the field? Because everybody's up there swinging for the damn fences? Who wins tonight, Bino, by the way? Then we go back to the phones.
Tony, I took Toronto in 7 before it started, and that's where I'm staying. I'm pulling for the Mariners, but I believe the Blue Jays win.
Go Fighting Jerry Colquitt. He said that place out there is really flyed up.
Oh, I can imagine.
Haven't done it in 50 years. The Mariners have already done it at the expense of my Braves in 92 and then in my Phillies in 93. When Mitch Williams gave that home run up, my new family at the time learned that I had some language in me, Bina. Huh?
I can imagine.
That's when they see the real side of you, when you blow a lead in the 9th inning. That's like the third blown lead. We blew in that series, not that anybody cares, we blew like a 7-run lead in 1 9th inning in that series. That 93 Phillies team, that's one of my favorite teams of all time. They didn't win it, but I loved them because they were so freaking fun. Back to our TLD logistics phone lines we go. And again,
Tony, my brother Ron was a devout, unflappable man.
Yep.
About the only thing in the whole world.
Yep.
That could bring it out was like a fumble against Alabama or something.
Say, I love that. They say that adversity reveals character. I think watching sports with somebody that really cares about sports reveals character. Because what they learned about me that night is, God, our daughter's married to a damn psycho. That had to be what they were thinking. I hope this guy grows up at some point. They'd be proud to know that I kind of haven't. But let's go back to the phones. Hello and welcome in to our next call on a Monday where I ask, what do we learn from the Alabama game? And you're on our Monday edition. Hi.
Hey, Tony. Good to talk to you.
Hey, Columbo. Welcome in, buddy.
What did we learn?
Hey, what about Bino, Columbo? Bino,
how about me, Mark?
Hey, Bino. Geez, what am I thinking? I'd rather talk to Bino than you anyway.
How you doing, Mark?
Pretty good. So, like, anybody that wants Josh Heupel fired, like, I can't. Just hang up the phone on him. That's so stupid. Has this guy raised the floor of this program beyond anywhere I thought he was going to do it? Absolutely.
Yep.
and he deserves all the credit in the world for that.
Yep.
The last three guys here totally flamed out, and the bottom came out of it. Just terrible to watch. And he, at least, the floor has been considerably raised.
Agree.
That said, he is not an elite coach, and that's okay because there aren't many of those guys out there. And unless you give him like elite talent, he's not winning a game like the one like Saturday night. He's just not. He's not good enough to win that game. Now the part that's going to tick everybody off. Tony, this is why in the spring, and hear me out and hear my explanation before you jump down my throat. This is why in the spring I clamored to pay Nico. Because was Nico at his full potential and fully developed, and after a year in the system and with these new receivers and the new things they've done on the offense, well, he has the ability to go down there and win that game on Saturday night. Joey Aguilar, God love him, and he and Heupel did an unbelievable job getting him ready for the season, because if we rolled out there with Jake Merklinger, like the Syracuse game was in play. Like, I think we could have lost that game. So, but he's a Sun Belt quarterback, man, and Sun Belt quarterbacks don't go into Bryant-Denny at night and win the game. Nico, however, and look, was he that way last year? Absolutely not. Is there a guarantee that he was going to progress and be his full potential this year? Absolutely not. There was no guarantee. And if he hadn't, I would not have been blaming Heupel. Some of it's on the kid. The kid's got to develop. The kid's got to develop, and it's on him. But he would have given you the ability to cover up some of the deficiencies in the roster. And this offense needs a quarterback with some mobility, because all these defenses are doing now, Tony, against the Heupel offense, is they're playing deep. They're letting us run between the 20s all we want. And then when it gets in the red zone, they tighten everything up. And the windows are a lot smaller, and he, with his legs, could have made the plays down there. That's all I'm saying. Nico's a 5-star kid. Joey Aguilar's a Sun Belt quarterback. It is what it is. I'm sorry that offends people. Like, look, they can still win. Look, the schedule's still there for them. They get Oklahoma in their building. They get who the hell knows what Florida's going to be, and they get Vanderbilt in their building. Like, you went out, you're probably making the playoff, and I have no complaints. But Saturday night was proof to me, like, that's why I clamored to pay Nico in the spring.
Bino?
Mark, I'm still the same place I was when we discussed this at the time. I understand exactly what you're saying. I do think that the ceiling is higher with Nico than with Joey. Yeah. But I continually go back to, I just don't think that you can let a player hold your whole program hostage. And that's what I felt like they would have been doing had they have paid Nico.
Hey, Bino, what about his contention that our coach is a low floor, or high floor, low ceiling coach, because the News Sentinel dropped the F-bomb on him today. The News Sentinel dropped the Franklin bomb on him today, and used the James Franklin, which is kind of what Columbo's saying here. Bino, is that an unfair narrative? Is it too soon for that narrative? Where are you on that?
I think it's a little too soon for that narrative. I don't think he's an elite coach. I'm like Mark. I don't think there's three of those guys. I don't think he's that guy, but I do think he's a very solid football coach who, like Mark said, has taken us from what, in my opinion, was the least stable point in the program's history in 4 years to where we go to Alabama and think we can win. And I know a lot of that is that with the transfer portal and all that, the talent is more evenly distributed. But I do think he's put us in position, and I think because of what he's done, he's earned the right to show whether he can take us that next step. And where I separate him from Franklin is, in his first 4 years here, he's beaten Alabama on our field twice.
And you see
Franklin didn't do that at Penn State.
Franklin
Franklin
had one lucky win against Ohio State, and Alabama's the Ohio State in this deal. Alabama's best team in the league this year. I don't care what people say. And Tennessee, by the way, was right with them at the end of the half the other night. If they didn't make that mistake, they would have had a fighting chance in the second half in that game.
Tony, I never for one moment thought Alabama was losing that game.
Me neither.
Me
neither. No, me neither.
Unless they dropped the ball on the ground 3 or 4 times,
that's right.
We weren't winning.
And they don't do that. They don't do that.
And they don't do that.
Right.
And so, regardless of what I just said about Nico, you're probably right.
Yeah.
From a culture perspective, inside the building, we couldn't do it. But Saturday night is the perfect illustration of why I thought we should have paid him. Because Joey Aguilar, God love him, he was never going into Bryant-Denny Stadium at night and winning that game. Never. He's not good enough. I'm sorry. I know that offends people, but it's just the truth. Like, he's done a hell of a job, because this thing could have been really bad if he hadn't been what he's been these first 6-7 games. Like, all the credit in the world to him. He was never winning that game at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Just wasn't. Anyways,
Lumbo,
so
thank
Tony,
you.
what do you think about Lane going to Florida?
Is he going?
Ask me after the Oklahoma game.
Are they going to offer him?
Yeah. I don't think they'll let Strickland offer another coach until Lane says no.
Is that the chatter out there?
Yeah. But if he beats Oklahoma, Ole Miss is making the playoff and probably hosting a playoff game against, say, like Notre Dame. That'll be the biggest game in Oxford since, ever. He wins that, he's going to play somebody in January. Well, I don't think Florida can wait till January to hire Lane Kiffin, and I don't think Lane Kiffin leaves if he wins a playoff game. But if he loses to Oklahoma, he might sit there and say, I can't win a title here, and he goes to Florida.
I'm not sure
and
that Florida.
If LSU opens, he's going to LSU.
Mark, I'm not sure Florida's a better job than the Ole Miss job right now.
But it doesn't matter what you and I think, Tony. It only matters what Lane Kiffin thinks.
Bino, do you think Florida's a better job than the Ole Miss job?
I think historically it certainly is, Tony. But I don't know about right now.
Tony, it won't be because of money or support why Lane Kiffin leaves.
No, it's kind of
they've given him everything he's ever asked for.
Yeah.
It'll be because he doesn't think he can win a title at Ole Miss. He was devastated after that game Saturday. Like, he wants to be on that stage and be thought of in the same realm as a Kirby Smart, as a Ryan Day.
He got kind of toyed. He kind of toyed with Saturday because Kirby waited till the penultimate drive of the game, and then the final drive of the game to start blitzing people. He was almost like Kirby said, "Okay, guys, that was fun. Now go get him." That was fun.
Here's the thing, Tony, and this kind of relates to Joey Aguilar. Trinidad Chambliss has been very good this year for them.
Yeah.
But when it was nut cutting time down there in Athens on Saturday, he kind of turned into a D2 quarterback again. Same as Joey Aguilar.
There's speculation over here in our YouTube video. Mark, do you have, seriously, some kind of Kiffin shrine, maybe a Kiffin body pillow, something of that sort in your house?
No, I just don't
sit here and dwell on the
fact that it was like 16 years ago when he left. Like, I would have hired him in 2017.
I would have hired him. If this job opens, I'd hire him here because he'd win a national championship here.
Like, so I don't sit here and I'm not all up in my feelings because he left for his dream job.
Maybe I have a body pillow.
If he'd have known he was losing 30 scholarships over 3 years at USC, he never would have left, and he would have won a title here back in the early 2010s.
I think he would have won a lot. I think he'd still be here. Would be my take.
I mean, or he'd be in the NFL again. But yeah, I'm sorry I don't get all up in my feelings because he left 16 years ago. Some people get all up on their feelings about that. I don't.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, Bino, you and I have talked about that, right? If our guy left to, like, I don't know, go to Oklahoma or whatever, who knows? It's a crazy world. Or he just gets sick of coaching. I would not be averse to hiring Kiffin here, would you, Bino?
Absolutely not, Tony. I think he'd be very good here. Like you all, I think he would have been very good here had he stayed. Had he not self-destructed in those early years, I think he would be much better here today than he would have been in that period if you brought him back. My only question about Lane is the same one that people have about James Franklin.
Yep.
Where are his big wins?
Yeah, he beat Georgia last year, but you're right. He's at a place, though, that's pretty big win. What's the term?
That's right.
He's like in a big win desert there at Ole Miss. I'm not sure. The more I think about that Florida gig, Spurrier, man, was really special. Now, could Kiffin be a Spurrier 2.0 with his offensive approach? And if you let him get his hands on a lot of those Florida players, he would get down there at a time where Florida State's floundering. Somebody on the inside of the Florida State thing, we were talking about that job opening last week, was telling me that they don't know that it's going to open because they don't have the money to buy that guy out. And they're kind of reevaluating spending all this NIL money on these teams that don't work, and maybe we need to have a program guy. It's hard for me to believe because we're up till 3 o'clock in the morning the other night, and I'm watching Florida State in the middle of the night in a road game. You talk about feeling like you're in the twilight zone. Florida State going to 0-4 in the league, losing at Stanford. With Bino, the guy that should be Bino's quarterback over there, running around the sidelines looking like a damn weirdo, running up and down the sidelines. No offense to the physicists listening to me, but that Luck guy looks like a damn goofball physicist running up and down the field. You talk about a nerd. No offense.
Well, if you didn't know who he was, you certainly wouldn't look at him and say, there's the former franchise quarterback right there.
Yes. 865.
Yeah. Tony, the new schedule makes it a little bit more palatable, but I hope Lane Kiffin doesn't go to Florida.
Yeah, that's a thought I kind of echo. I like to see them struggle because I don't think he'd struggle there. 865. The past couple times they passed over him because they were too high-minded. What happens when you go through the wilderness is you get a lot less high-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Getting your nose rubbed in it has a tendency to make us all just kind of say, you know what? Screw that. I just want to win. But we'll come back on the other side. By the way, I have a new name for our zone defense. Tim Banks' zone defense. They call their nickel the Star. They call that edge rusher the Leo, which is great names. He needs to call his zone defense the Twilight. We're going to go to the Twilight Zone defense as we continue with more on the other side after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka, and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely Gold White filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business. Conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Let's keep it live, legal, and
You're
large.
listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fanrun Radio.
Josh Heupel will be speaking here momentarily. We'll monitor that. We're going to take phone calls. Continue the conversation here. What have we learned about the Vols here? That's our question of the day. What would you learn Saturday night? You have anything else you want to add to the robust discussion here as Kentucky is on deck, another night game, some more midnight madness for me.
Yeah, Tony, just real quick, we were talking about Tennessee's defense as we went to break, and I never do this, Tony, but I'm going to make a slow pitch softball. So stay with me, folks. This is going to be real quick. Make a slow pitch softball analogy, Tony. When your opponent continues to hit the ball back at your pitcher, generally an old-time softball adage is you come back in the dugout and you say, okay, boys, middle's open, which means we're going back up through there at their guy. I can just imagine all our opponents going over the sideline saying, okay, boys, middle's open.
Yeah, I called that the Twilight Zone defense. Bino, they hammered us in the middle of the field the other night, did they not? Those slant routes, every time they had to have a big play. And look, if our ends don't get home, all these games except New Mexico State are losable. All of them. We have got to get
of it. And for some reason, we've been very good at it and weren't the other night.
Oh, man. Back to the phones we go. 865-200-5402. Hey, Bino, if Venables gets let go by Oklahoma, would you make a run at him if you're Tennessee?
I would, Tony.
Back to our phones.
And Tony, I don't know. I'm not astute enough to know what staff movements we should make.
Yeah.
But one of my true concerns about Josh going forward is, will he have the stomach? If you're at a place like this, you have to make staff upgrades as you go along.
Yep.
And one of my concerns is, will he have the stomach to make those and to be proactive rather than reactive in doing it?
Back to the phones would go. Hello and welcome in. By the way, I want to congratulate Martin Columbus on his phone call.
Horrible.
Huh?
Continue, sorry.
He didn't mention one time Hugh Freeze on his phone call. who's going to soon be out of a job. You didn't think to our caller, you didn't like Columbus's phone call?
Tony, this is Taylor. Hey, Bino. No, Mark from Columbus is a very entertaining, well-spoken caller and provides a lot of entertainment. But I kind of know what he's going to say before he calls. But Tony, here's what I learned on Saturday. I learned that Jimmy Sexton is the absolute best Uber agent in college sports, is what I learned. And he can have his team leak a story while he's at Athens attending the Ole Miss Georgia game, and he continues to play chess when the rest of the folks are playing checkers.
You think they leaked that?
Tony, of course they leaked it. Do you think Buster Posey and the Giants organization wanted that out there? Absolutely not, Tony. They've already been turned down by Hundley. The last thing they need is a college manager who has zero experience in MLB or minor league baseball, where no one that has those qualifications have ever sniffed a top MLB job, turning them down on the record. So absolutely it came from Sexton. I don't blame him. That type of stuff is what, he leverages, right, and makes him the absolute best in college sports at doing what he does. So, yeah, I think Jimmy Sexton leveraged that, leaked it, his team did. And what has it created? Well, it's put an enormous amount of pressure over at the University of Tennessee Athletic Department to get off their butts and do whatever it takes to retain arguably the face of college baseball, the best coach in college baseball in the country, certainly the most charismatic, self-aware, most dynamic coach over there on the Hill. Tony, Chris Burke last night called Tony Vols irreplaceable. I mean, he's a Nick Saban of college baseball. He's truly, to use an overused expression, he is truly a generational coach. If he does stay, and I don't know the answer if he stays. I've heard rumors that he's going to. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, if he turns down the Giants, he becomes even more of a living legend. He amplifies his persona and the program exponentially. And that's hard to do. When you're the elite of the elite, his phone will not stop ringing from glad handers, big donors, and potential five-star recruits saying, when can I get an appointment? I want to come to Tennessee. What do you think about that?
Well, the other thing he does, because I was telling Bino off the air, so much of what happens on these college campuses is political. And I wrote today, look, his AD's not real fond of him. He's just not. And his team's not fond of him. Because Tony does what Tony's going to do. Who Tony is. Tony's going to ask permission later. I will take you back to the Alberto Ozuna thing last year when he called me in a rage. He's like, why aren't you talking about that on the air? I'm like, Tony, you're beating people by 1 million runs. What do you need another player for? What do you mean? What do I need? And I got kind of a look-see into him. And the look-see is this. It's never enough. You think you met the most competitive person you know, and then you watch that guy. And I'm with Bino. I think if he goes, he'd be totally miserable managing major league millionaire/billionaires. I think he'd be miserable playing in those waters. And I'm hearing what you're hearing, Taylor, which is that, I'm not going to say it on the mic, but you said it, the rumors that are out there. He really confused his kids on Saturday. I don't know that he leaked that because essentially he told his kids, and this is what I got from somebody whose kid's on a team. He said, don't believe the reports that you hear until you hear it from me. And you guys, no matter what happens, are going to be in good hands. Now, that's not a guy denying that he's going to leave. That's a guy that's a kind of a smart guy, Bino, Because a lot of coaches go before their kids and they lie, Bino, right? When they get kind of pinned to the wall, I'm never going to leave you. That's not what he said. He said, don't believe what you read till you hear it from me. And then he went out and did a practice yesterday like nothing happened. Didn't say a thing to his team. So very curious here how this is going to go. But Bino, Taylor's right. If he turns down the major leagues, he'll be the first guy in the history of college baseball to do so. And he will be a complete and total rock star in that deal if he turns him down, Bino. A complete rock star. And Donde Plowman reached out to him over the weekend, and Tony's going to have the keys to the kingdom on UT's campus too, whether people like that or not. That's how it's going to be. He's the only guy with a national championship over there, isn't he, Bino?
Yes.
And he's going to win more.
Yes.
If he stays, he's going to win more.
I agree. Yeah, he's already a rock star. I don't know what the next step is, but whatever it is, he stays, he's going to that.
Yeah. Well, here's what bothers me. Some people are like, oh, they've already done everything they can. New stadium.
That's what Danny's
$3
people are
million
telling people.
Contract.
That's what Danny's people are telling people. They're throwing up their hands. I think they want him to go, Taylor. Yeah. I think they want him to go. I think those people want him to go. Be careful what you wish for. They would be
absolutely moronic.
Be careful what you wish for.
Tony, I think Danny White's ego and his narcissism is so big, he expects his direct reports to follow in line. He says something, he expects them to do it. If his direct reports would rather beg for forgiveness and ask for permission, he's not having that. His ego is too big. He needs to read the room. Danny White needs to read the room. You've got, as I've already indicated, I won't go through that list, a generational coach, the face of college baseball in your backyard. You inherited him. You do whatever you need to do to keep him happy, give him the resources necessary. Here's the problem, Tony. They've got a fall roster right now of 43. They've got to get it down to either 34 or, depending on how many DSAs, I think they've got 3 DSAs. They've got to get it down to 37 by December 1st, right? I think likely Tennessee requested 6 DSAs potentially. That would make sense, right? The old roster was 40, although you could have virtually unlimited walk-ons. So 6 would be a reasonable request. I don't know what they requested, but that could be part of the rub, that they're not getting fully funded the DSAs. Because if you declare a DSA, they're an additional cost, right? You're fully funding. Also, the fact is, I think this is a fact. Everything I've read, heard, and people I've talked to, Tennessee does not have a top 10 baseball budget. When I say baseball budget, I'm combining that for revenue share and NIL. They don't have the money to go out there and buy portal players, or I hate to say it, but that's the reality, like the LSUs of the world do, and other teams. Look at Georgia. Georgia is spending a fortune in the portal. Over half their team is now portal. Yeah. Old West down in Georgia is going to get them competitive. Tony sees that. He realizes the whole paradigm shift in college baseball. If you don't leverage the portal for experienced studs, you don't make it to Omaha. And that's what baseball has changed under this landscape. And guess what? They have not given him the resources to do that. Not like the LSUs of the world, not like the Arkansas, Mississippi States, the Texases, and others. And you know what? I think all Tony wants is give me the budget like a top 10 program, commensurate with a top 10 program, and I'll be happy. And I'm sure he's also a bit annoyed. Lindsey Nelson was supposed to be done last February. The official documentation from the university states it will not be 100% done until February of 2027. Tony, nothing takes 3 years. They've drugged their feet. They have not properly project managed that. They've not properly made that the priority that it needs. So I'm sure that's an irritant to be playing in a construction zone for 2 years. And then I would ask this, Tony. You may know this, and I'll let you go because this ticks me off. And I'll say this before somebody thinks I'm just a Vitello baseball sheep. That whole Ozuna thing, Tony, you probably recall, I was highly critical of Vitello. He's not perfect. I think he made a misstep there. I think he didn't realize, some of the details, and certainly the fans didn't know Ozuna. So I've criticized Vitello before. He's not perfect, but I'll say this. I'd love to know where Tennessee baseball is on campus in terms of revenue share and NIL budget compared to Lady Vols basketball and softball? And then I'd love to hear what some of the other top 10 programs have at their disposal. I know that information is almost impossible to get
I can
to.
get you the women's basketball stuff because I'm digging on it right now from people that follow it, that are in it. I believe the Lady Vols have a top 3 budget right now in that sport. I believe their payroll is north of $3 million this year. And I believe that some of his money's gone to them. That's why I wrote what I wrote. He believes that. I believe that, and I didn't get it from him, by the way. I did not get that from him. For the record, if you want, you can FOIA my text messages to him. I did not get that from him. I don't need to get that from him. I don't need to get that from him. So the point is that in his world, and Tony's very linear, you're either with me or you're against me. You're either with, and that's kind of what fuels him. He's sort of a grudge guy, Taylor, and the AD over there. The AD has kind of been picking at him, and the timing of this is just not good. And listen, if he leaves, it's going to be because he wants to take a Major League Baseball job. That's why he's leaving. It's not going to be Danny White's fault. But this thing happening on top of the Danny picking at him over the roster size. Look, if I had a guy that won a national championship that's going to win more, I'd go out of my way to make sure he's happy. I'm sorry. That's
bend over backwards.
I would bend over backwards. Last thing I'd be doing is taking NIL budget away from the guy. But that's me. That's just, plus, if I got a $140 million stadium that I'm trying to fill, the last thing I would be doing is picking at the guy. Why would you pick at the guy? And then
110, but that's semantics.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
But Tony, don't you think, thank God for Randy Boyd, Dante Plowman. Dante and her husband hardly miss a game there.
Yes.
They love baseball. Obviously, Randy Boyd
loves it.
It goes without saying. He's a huge baseball supporter. He owns pretty much the entire minor league teams in Tennessee. Don't you think they're involved? I think you've indicated that. So this is out of Danny White's egotistical hands. And I agree. Listen, he's going to entertain the Giants offer regardless if he has friction with Danny White.
Yes.
But I surmise that Boyd and Donde, and I'm sure the big donors, the big baseball folks like Larry Pratt, Peyton Manning, and more have all gotten involved. And I sure hope they've been able to salvage this. And again, I know it's the Giants, and it's remarkable that Vitello was literally their second choice to Hundley. That just goes to show what a treasure and what a stud and the best of the best, one of one Vitello is. But Tony, make no mistake, on the way out, he's going to, if he does go, who knows, I hope he stays, obviously. And I think there's probably a 50-50 chance he does stay due to a lot of other reasons. He loves Knoxville. And I'm sure he's feeling the love from higher ups, which he needs. But Q's going to go with him, and likely Sean McMahon. And you just cannot replicate that personality, that charisma that Tony Vitello has. That the talent evaluation, the recruiting. Tennessee baseball will take a huge fall if Vitello leaves. The fan base will not be nearly engaged. They can't lose likely one of the best coaches ever. And the last thing, if he stays another 10, 15 years, ideally he retires, he will be mentioned in the same breath as General Nealand and Pathead Summit. I mean, the guy is one of one.
Thank you,
Tony. Enjoy your reporting, GBO.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't get into it in the first hour. He brought it up. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. But I wrote what I wrote today. Go to tclub.team and read it. I don't blame Danny White for wanting to fund his women's basketball coach. I think she's talented. I think she's very good, Bino, don't you? I mean,
I do too, Tony.
I think she could be a very special coach. I'll tell you this now. I'm not taking money out of the pocket of a guy that's already won me a natty that's got that I need to compete with LSU in this league. I don't need him to be, if Taylor's right. I didn't know that. Taylor really follows it. If they're 10 in America in that stuff, that's not acceptable for the level of coach Tony is. But anyway, go ahead, Bino.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if indeed Danny White's to the point to where he doesn't care, I mean, that would be That would be the greatest mistake since Jerry Jones. Tony, I told you off the air, and I decided this a number of years back. I look, I've been critical of ADs, really critical of ADs in the past. This day and time, an AD is always going to be the villain.
Yep.
Because there's nothing that they do in their job that doesn't make people mad.
Yep.
They either are out there squeezing money from people.
Yep.
More money, more money, more money.
Yep.
Or they're having to make decisions about distribution of money between highly, highly, highly competitive people.
Yep.
They're making somebody mad with every decision they make. So I try not to be overly critical of them.
I think it's fair. And I thought what I wrote this morning was fair, Bino. I called Tony kind of nuts, which he is, right? That was fair. That's a fair thing to say. And I do believe that Danny and his people want the guy to go. I really do. I wouldn't have written that if I didn't believe that. Now, he would say, well, that's crazy. I deny that, blah, blah, blah. We love him, blah, blah. Of course, what's what you're going to say publicly? Privately, Tony's an irritant to them. I love Tony because he's anti-establishment, damn it. And he went and won doing it. He stuck his finger in Tim Corbin's face, Bino. Tony reminds me of the early Bruce Pearl thing, except he won the whole thing. The early Bruce Pearl thing, the anti-establishment, I'm going to take my players into the stands down in Georgia. I mean, what in the world? I'd sign up for that 100 times in a row. But Bino's right. These ADs, they're all the same. Whether it's Danny with his Schmedium shirts and, he rocks them, or whomever. These guys they're not ex-coaches like they once were. They're a bunch of bean counters. Their job is to extract as much money out of you as humanly possible. Now, he's a little more cold and nihilistic than some with his approach. He's not exactly warm and fuzzy, but whatever. Let's go back to the phones. But Bino's right. They're all the same. Those people care about one thing. I'm convinced you could give them, like you could give him $1 billion to play with. He'd spend $1.1 billion and dive in your grandmother's sofa looking for quarters, nickels, and dimes that had fallen through the cracks from family members that have visited. They're all the same.
I was thinking from a cheap shot angle, though, Tony. I saw a little blurb on the news last night where they had the finish on the field road race. And they showed it last night, and there were just a ton of people, runners, trying to get into the stadium. And I was thinking last night, well, they got this set up exactly like the Georgia game. The runners can't get in there either.
Back to the phones we go. And by the way, somebody told me that went to the Alabama game that the Alabama experience getting into their game completely different than Tennessee's. They don't have this what would you call that? Like a bottleneck. All their gates are functional like they've always been down there. They're not doing the premium. I don't like that. I don't like partitioning fans off. Look, fans are going to be partitioned off regardless because some want the premium stuff. Fine. You don't have to restrict gates to the peril of others. You just don't. I mean, that was a very, very dangerous thing that happened here to a fan base that deserves a lot better. And I was critical of that. But, with this thing, the guy hired this women's coaching, and he wants her to win. It's his hire. And by the way, he took a big chance on her. I will remind you that Richard G. West broke that story because we all thought it was comedy. That's the truth.
Hey, Richard G's got a couple right now, and
yeah,
people are believing they're full believers.
Hey, I was told.
I mean, I was a full believer forever.
I was told, Bino, hey, Richard, if you're listening, Bino used to screenshot your stuff and send it to us in a group chat like you were breaking stories. It took how many times, Bino, did he get you?
I don't know. I was a really, really slow learner. I was new to Twitter and we're operating with the same brain I operated everywhere else.
Some would call Bino Spashall. Brent says if Tony walks, Danny will be very hated. Look, if Tony walks, it's because he wants to take a Major League Baseball job. I don't think it's fair to throw a bunch of vile at Danny White if Tony leaves. I just don't. But there is a backstory. There is a backstory to this. And that's part of the component. Part of the component is that Tony has this thing in his mind that you're either for me or you're against me. And in this deal, well, I already said it. Let's go back to the phones and we'll get our next call in. And they've really moneyed up Kim Caldwell to win. They've really moneyed her up. Let's get our next call in on your TLD Logistics phone line. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony and Bino. This is Jack from Wartburg.
Hey, Wartburg Jack. Welcome in, brother.
Y'all ever been to a cattle sale at the stockyard?
No, I'm not familiar. What are cattle sales at a stockyard, Jack?
Well, that's what you've seen at the Georgia game, trying to enter and exit the stadium. Everybody was gated down one way and funneled in, and that's about what that was like. The biggest disaster I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah, I hope they get it fixed, or I hope they've gotten it fixed. But there's no need to put your fans in danger like that, and that falls at the feet of the athletic director, by the way.
I left the game Saturday. I expected it, so I wasn't as mad as I was.
Yeah.
I was aggravated, but leaving the Arkansas game and watching the Mississippi State game, I was way more aggravated at the football team than I was this past weekend. And my question is do you think this coaching staff, I love Heupel to death, and he's got us up off the mat and everything, but does he take this serious when you think about it?
Talking about Josh Heupel?
Yes.
Yes, Jack. I think he takes it serious.
Are you kidding? He's highly competitive. Highly competitive. Are you kidding?
I'm gonna go back off a few things that you commented earlier in the spring.
He burns to win, man. Are you kidding?
You reverse the coaches. Put Vitello in his spot. The football team has the football program is number one on this campus. It brings in the most money, and he continuously does not go out and get portal players like he should. And you mentioned it. You said this guy. You're worried about this guy. He don't go out and get the players that he should when he has all the assets to go get them with. You take Barnes. Barnes got a mint. Barnes, every single year, Barnes is looking during the season. He's already plotting who he's getting for the next year, and he's making adjustments to better his program for the next year. Just like when he played Houston, he knew, hey, I've got to get more offense. He's went out each year and stepped up and got better and better and better to make a run at a Final Four. Do you not agree on that?
Yes, I do agree. I give the Rick Barnes thing from 10 years ago till now, and he's got our program in a completely different place, and his approach has totally changed, and he's adjusted to the transfer portal. Bino, it's mind-boggling the stuff Barnes is doing at his age. Don't you agree with that, Bean?
Yes, when most of his contemporaries have basically retired because they did not want to deal with it. So I give him all the credit in the world for basically transforming his thought process. Jack, I don't know if what we've done in the portal, we've been pretty successful percentage-wise in what we've got out of the portal.
Yep.
What I don't know is, do they have the proper balance right now in their thought in football of how much to go into the portal as opposed to how much to build your program off of high school recruits. We may be a little bit on the short side as far as what we try to do in the portal.
Because
It may be
they're
serious,
really
serious
invested.
may not be the right word.
No.
but
They're
when you
really,
look at Barnes, when you look at Barnes, and he's adjusted his coaching style, and he's, I don't know the proper terms. Maybe he's accepted help and getting, and took a step back and changed his ways of coaching to adapt to this the way it is these days.
Yeah,
what it takes to win, and he wants to win, and you can tell it. We're like, Heupel, he has his clock management, and it's like he's overloaded, and he's like, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. So
no, I do agree
he's
with
surrounding
that.
himself
Yeah.
with friends.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Heupel that you bring a good point up. I think it's really hard to call plays and manage a football game right now. Even more so than it was like on the Spurriers of the world, because the college game is sped up. The clock's always moving now. It's a different game. And now you got these replays and all this stuff to deal with you didn't before, and you got to chew on the refs and then worry about personnel and all these things. And it seems to me, because some of these guys are going to this where they have somebody in their ear, and Tennessee hasn't, but somebody in their ear saying, hey, you got to get it. You got to get a timeout here. You got to get a timeout here. You got to get I think he needs that, because I think he's calling the plays. I don't think this Halsey guy is the quote unquote play caller like they try to act like he is. Bino, do you agree with that? That Heupel could probably use some help from that perspective, like some of these guys are doing. Lane Kiffin, I understand, has somebody that gets in his ear now, because he's down there calling the plays, that gets in his ear saying, hey, get a timeout here, get a timeout, get it. And that's exactly what they did before the 2-minute warning. Now, Kiffin made a mistake the other day. He took his third timeout with 2:06 on the clock before the 2-minute warning. And Heupel, I think, did a similar thing. You let the clock run there. But I think Heupel could benefit from that, Bino. Do you agree? What Wartburg's talking about?
It's one of the things, Tony, that I've kind of been thinking about that could help Josh going forward to take the next step. And I do agree with you. I wish he could find someone that he trusts enough to call plays totally, and then him just be the game manager.
But by no means do I want Josh Heupel gone.
I like him a lot.
But I feel like he needs to better, surround himself with better people. And if not, I'm afraid it's gonna few years maybe down the road, it's gonna come back to bite him. And I don't want to see that, because I think he can be successful if he just had just a touch bit of help with better people around him. Would make him look better. I mean, do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. I think that the concept of surrounding yourself with the best people, I look at like a Saban and a Kirby Smart and those guys on their staffs, they go after the best people they can find. Yeah, that is kind of a concern of mine with Josh.
And other than Garner, I mean, nobody is really recruiting at a high level off that team, right? So just surround yourself with better people, and the results are going to come. Don't be scared that they're going to take your job, and don't be, because you're coaching. He's kind of coaching not to lose rather than to win. He don't take the chances, and the offense. You don't see the explosive plays. You don't see the trickery. It's kind of like he's in a box and he's staying in a box because he's got used to the defense last year being pretty decent because he didn't have a quarterback that could run the offense. So I don't know. I just feel like he's hung in the mud, like he's stuck, and he's going to have to get better coaches around him to take it to the next level.
I think that's thanks. I think that's a fair assessment, because I think he's very good. I think we could be better. On the recruiting, they've done really, really well in the high school ranks. Like, they've got a pretty good class coming in. They have a 5-star quarterback stacked with George McIntyre. They got that Keys kid, the great receiver. And so they've augmented. I mean, it doesn't mean those people are going to be hits, but they're trying. My criticism of what they did in the portal was you're in a league where even if you have Auburn, and it hasn't worked out for Auburn, okay, but Auburn had two great young receivers there. They knew they were great young players. But they went out and got the guy from Georgia Tech that was the number one receiver in the market. Now, they got the wrong quarterback. That kid couldn't play catch in the backyard with you. You'd be going and fetching the ball all the time. And it's going to get Hugh Freeze fired. But let me go through a few things that Josh Heupel said today at his press conference. Josh Heupel on the offensive line. Ultimately, he writes, ultimately there are things we should have done and could have done better on the offensive line. He said, I told them this morning, the whole group, I love the way we continue to compete. About his road struggles, he said, I don't think we've played perfectly at home either. He was asked about his road struggles today. On the missed tackling, some of them we were in a bad position. Some of them we just don't wrap up. We've got to find a way to get people down and make that play. And, Bino, we were talking the other night about that ball that Bernard caught where four guys are around him and he splits them like he's in a cartoon or something. I don't know that I've seen anything like that this year on a football field.
No, and I don't know if that was fatigue or what that was, but that was the epitome of poor tackling on that play.
Heupel also acknowledged that Joey Aguilar's took a pretty good beating against the Tide, but will be ready to play this weekend. But he did acknowledge that he's got some bumps and bruises. He also, about his offense, said ultimately we've got to find a way to create more explosives. Does it concern you, Bino, that it seems like our SEC opponents have figured out a way to take Brazel away? They've figured out a way to bottle him up?
Well, the game before last, the Arkansas game, they certainly seemed to have found something. Now, the other night, I thought he was more a factor. I think he got targeted 9 or 10 times.
Yep.
But I did think he kind of went missing in action against Arkansas.
Yeah. Heupel also said, he went on to say, we look at games against Kentucky. Historically, they've been really tight. He said, and obviously everybody's very disappointed about our outcome from the other day. So, typical Heupel stuff. 865-200-5402. We come back. We continue with more. I want to hear from you. More on the other side after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
college football fans. Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw Premium Vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Playbook with William Patterson's right around the corner on Fanrun Radio. I'm going to stay here and kick it over at tclub.team. One of the things we do here, and you'll hear this as we go in the blog and also on the show, is our hardwood report. And it's presented by our friends at WeShipFloors.com. We had a caller, Alan from Jonesboro, last week, popping for these people. Why? Because he said, Tony, the product, I was so proud to hear them on your show because the product's off the hook. And I've talked with countless other people as well that have the Supercore floor in their home or in their I talked to a guy that used it in an office area, and he said, Tony, you can't scratch. You can't beat on these floors. He said, you can't beat them up. He said, we tried all kinds of product. That a guy told me the other day. So maybe I'll turn turn a couple of those into radio commercials down the line. But it's good to hear the great stuff about Allen and WeShipFloors.com because they have a room visualizer.